Let's just dive right in, shall we? You spend hours, maybe even days, crafting these incredible animated marketing videos. You pour all your creativity into them, you hit that publish button, and what happens? Crickets. Does that sound a little too familiar? Well, today we're going to unpack a super precise formula designed to change all that. This is the blueprint for making marketing animations that people actually watch. It's gotta be one of the biggest frustrations for any marketer out there. You know the content is good, but for some reason, it's just not cutting through the noise of that endless scroll. The view count is stuck, there's basically no engagement, and it really feels like you're just shouting into a digital void. So what's the deal? Why is it so hard to grab and hold on to someone's attention? To get to the bottom of this, let's paint a picture of someone who might feel, well, a lot like you. Let's call them the young digital marketer. They're super talented, bursting with creative ideas, but they're hitting that same wall. Their work is fantastic, but it's just getting lost in this massive ocean of online content. This is the person we're going to help today. Okay, so let's call it what it is. This isn't just about feeling frustrated. It's a real strategic challenge. The marketer's big problem is the core issue we're setting out to solve, and we're going to do it with a clear step-by-step plan. And right when our marketer is about to throw in the towel, a new voice shows up. We'll call them the mentor. And the mentor's advice? It's simple, but it's a total game changer. Stop throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. Stop guessing. The key to success isn't about getting lucky. It's about having a solid blueprint to build from. So let's get into the first and honestly, probably the most critical piece of this entire blueprint. It all starts with getting a handle on the two most valuable things online, time and attention. And here it is, the first magic number in our blueprint, 35 seconds. That's it. That is the absolute sweet spot, the total optimal length for a marketing animation reel that's designed to make a real impact. It's just long enough to tell a little story, but short enough that you're respecting that viewer's tiny attention span. It's all about precision. So how in the world do you pack a punch in just 35 seconds? Well, that brings us to our next number. Each individual slide, each visual moment, gets a maximum of 6 seconds on screen. That's it. This creates this fast, snappy, rhythmic pace that keeps the viewer's eyes glued to the screen. It forces you to be super concise and stops them from even thinking about swiping away. And it's so important to understand why this short format works so well. A 35-second reel has a completely different job than, say, a long, detailed tutorial. Its one and only mission is to be short, punchy, and grab the interest of a really broad audience. You're not trying to teach them everything, you're just trying to earn that next click. Okay, so we've got the timing down to a science, but even the most perfect structure is useless without the right stuff inside, right? So let's move on to the next part of the blueprint. This is all about the language you use to really connect with your people. Now, the blueprint gets really specific here. It says to use Hinglish. And for anyone who's not familiar, Hinglish is this really natural, seamless mix of Hindi and English that you hear spoken every single day across urban and semi-urban India. It's not some formal language from a textbook, it's how real people actually talk. It's authentic. And check out the effect this has. It's huge. When you use that stiff, formal, corporate English, you're kind of putting up a wall between you and your audience. It just feels distant. But when you use Hinglish, the way people actually speak, you build this instant bridge. It shows them you get their world. And that creates a way stronger, much more genuine connection. All right, so we've got our timing, and we've got our language. Now we need the messengers. Let's look at the final creative piece of the formula, the characters who are going to bring your entire story to life. So the blueprint recommends a clean, versatile 2D animation style. But here's the real key, the secret sauce, really, consistency. It's absolutely crucial that you use the same male and female characters in all your slides. Why? Because that builds recognition, it creates a cohesive world, and it makes your content instantly identifiable in a super crowded feed. And this is just classic powerful storytelling 101. You've got two key players in this dynamic. First, your main character is the relatable hero. That's our young digital marketer who is basically a stand-in for your audience and their problems. And then you have the support character, the wise guide, our mentor, who shows up with the answers. The viewer sees themselves in the hero and finds the solution through the guide. It's a perfect narrative loop. All right, we've broken down the timing, we've looked at the language, and we've met the characters. Now it's time to put all those pieces together into one clear, easy-to-use summary. This is the complete formula.
So let's run through it one more time. A total run time of exactly 35 seconds. Super fast pacing at 6 seconds a slide. You're using Hinglish to create a genuine connection. And you're telling your story with a consistent 2D animated duo, the young digital marketer as your hero and the mentor as their guide. That's it. That is the entire blueprint.
You see, a framework like this, it takes all the guesswork out of the equation. It is a proven structure designed from the ground up to capture attention and tell a really compelling microstory in today's noisy digital world. It gives you a clear path forward. So the only question left to ask is, you have the blueprint. What story will you tell?